response to this.
Right, this
Everything that they're saying,
pick.
everything that they've said this past week makes me feel like they are receptive to the Trump fascist takeover. I feel also, speaking of unfortunate realities, I have a breaking news update. Matt Gaetz has been nominated as Attorney General. I cannot begin to explain to you how much worse it can get. Okay? Imagine the worst possible outcome. Imagine the worst possible outcome that could happen. Now imagine it being infinitely worse. Matt Gaetz has been nominated as Attorney General. It's my great honor to announce that Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida is hereby nominated to be the Attorney General of the United States. Oh my God, the never-kevers have risen up and they are taking over the goddamn government. Holy, they are abolishing age of consent, dude. Oh my Lord. This man has active investigations into his, like, what the Can we go back a few saves? No, we need a reset, dude. Oh my Lord, dude. Holy. Oh, if the Senate confirms him, witness tells House Ethics Committee that Matt Gaetz paid her for sex. Several women were witnesses of the DOJ probe that have been interviewed. The House Ethics Committee probed Matt Gaetz for alleged sexual misconduct. And now Donald Trump wants to make him the Attorney General. Now, if you know anything about the Republican Party, a guy with active allegations and sex trafficking allegations on him is a perfect person to put into a position of power. I am reminded of Dennis Hastert, the longest running Speaker of the House. Dennis Hastert is a Republican, was a Republican, and was the longest running record-breaking Speaker of the House. He broke another record, the most prolific. There was suspicion that a lot of people knew that he was a at the time, but because of his his serial, it made him controllable. So I suspect not only is Matt Gaetz a die-hard pro-Trump guy, but he also has, blackmail on himself, which Trump can use if given the opportunity. This is incredible stuff. Yeah, it's leverage, okay? This is called leverage, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. Holy This country is in the pooper, okay? This country is in the dumps. We are so cooked. Let's see what MSNBC has to say about the Matt Gaetz situation. I'll look at what CNN has to say as well.
And they're used to policy differences. So you can go from Bush presidency.
Dude. Donald Trump wants loyalists in his orbit, okay? He wants loyalists in his orbit, and he wants the generals to be loyal to him.
I think that it is a real signaling with Matt Gaetz being proposed for the head of the Department of Justice, with Tulsi Gabbard being proposed.
This is a malicious man. This is a vindictive man. This is a man who unironically learned the worst lessons he possibly could have from the last administration. The last time he wanted to do like January 6th and numerous other things, there were people in his cabinet that actively fought against him, or at the very least were open to criticizing him or maybe even stopping him. Okay? When, and he was like, all right, well, I'm going to make sure that never happens again. It's over. So he basically is filling his cabinet with loyalists. Okay? People have stood by him, people that will fight tooth and nail for whatever his wishes are, no matter how insane or unhinged. And this is precisely the reason why I lose my mind when I see photos like this. Okay? When I see like this, I'm like, y'all are, you're so fake. You're so phony. You are so goddamn phony, dude. You said he was a fascist, which he is. And now you're just friendly with the fascists? Like, what message are you giving to the American public? And I know what message they're giving to the American public. The message is, guys, we have a much greater enemy, okay? And that is trans people. That is socialism. That is communism. No way you're still on this? What are you talking about, dude? What do you mean, no way I'm still on this? I'm on this now.
Matt Gaetz, Jeffrey Clark.
Get off this chatter. Wake the up.
Gaetz, that would result in a number of important people, the people that make the place run at DOJ, saying, no, I can't be a part of this. I'm going to walk.
Well, that issue of whether you stay or whether you walk is a complicated one. It's certainly, I think, for people who are serious people who, as I said, are used to the idea that elections have come.
Chatter was like, move on, man. Politics is over. The election ended, you know? Yeah, don't look ahead at the dire prospect of American tomorrow, American future.
Are just so extreme that they can't agree as a policy matter, in which, then it's their choice to leave, or ask them to do things that are simply unsupported by the facts. So that your example of January 6th is a really good one, because you had people who were Trump appointees who were saying, we cannot do this. You had the acting attorney general, you had the acting deputy attorney general, you had the head of the Office of Legal Counsel, sort of three of the most prominent people at the Department of Justice, all selected by Donald Trump, saying they cannot do this. And so what I see with these announcements is
John Cornyn says he's trying to still absorb all this. When asked about Gaetz for AG and Gabbard for DNI, Cornyn visiting raised his eyebrows when first informed by the press of the Gaetz pick.
And that is,
by the way,
a fine point.
They will all stand down, just so you understand. Anytime you hear a Republican be like, well, I don't know about all this, like, do not be hopeful, okay? Lest you be misguided in this moment.
Moskowitz from Florida, as is Matt Gaetz. Just your reaction to this. I mean, this news just broke. It's out on Trump's Truth Social. Is the Hill abuzz with the news? Is your phone blowing up over this? Give us a sense of what's going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, this is what the American people voted for, right? I mean,
oh my God, they're literally like, oh no, we're punishing the voters. They are. They're punishing the voters.
In Matt Gaetz, he's not only going to get someone who's fiercely loyal, but fiercely competent. Matt Gaetz knows exactly what to do with the Attorney General's office. He will turn that into be most powerful Attorney General in American history. I know Matt well. We served together in the legislature in Florida. In fact, Matt was the one who was part of the transition team of Ron DeSantis.
What are you saying? He's a demon, dog.
Director of Emergency Management in the state of Florida. And so, Trump was very clear on what he wanted to do with government. And in Matt Gaetz, he is going to get a very competent, very powerful Attorney General.
So what do you think he is going to do as AG, if confirmed?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously he's got a boss in Donald Trump, but anyone thinking that Donald Trump was just ready to move forward, that is clearly not the case. And so, at the end of the day, this is what happens. Elections have consequences. We talked about this during the election, but, at the end of the day, Matt was a former prosecutor, former attorney in private practice. He is a fierce Donald Trump loyalist. Matt has prosecuted the case in Congress for Donald Trump for years, and now he's going to get to do that on behalf of the American people if he gets confirmed.
I've heard from some of your Democratic colleagues in the House who are concerned, this was before Matt Gaetz was the pick, that a Trump DOJ might target them, that they could be investigated. Do you think that is going to be part of Gaetz's repertoire? Is he going to be settling scores?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Matt or speak for the Trump administration.
Do you
but
have
I'm pretty sure
that
not
would
just
happen?
What are these guys saying?
I'm pretty sure with this
like
pick,
what?
Not just
What is the Democratic response to this?
This
Everything that they're saying,
pick.
everything that they've said this past week makes me feel like they are receptive to the Trump fascist takeover. I feel like they're more predisposed with on trans people and woke more than they are of like the upcoming second Trump agenda, the upcoming second Trump regime. That is nuts, dude. Yeah, look at this. I agree. Thanks for tuning in, Hasan the Hun. Don't forget to subscribe. We're already on to you, though. Child predators use Twitch to systematically track kids. Congressman Matt Gaetz joins Twitch. This is now the Attorney General, potentially, if appointed. What the hell's going on?
For DOD, Tulsi Gabbard for for Director of National Intelligence. What is the most concerning? What are the most comforting picks for you when it comes to the issue of national security or foreign relations?
Well, look, I think the meeting of all these people is going to be fascinating and problematic. I mean, you got Marco Rubio and Mike Waltz. Those folks are very serious about policy and protecting America, are tough on Iran, tough on China, tough on Russia. And then in the DOD picks and in intelligence, you have folks kind of on the opposite side of that. And so, I think it's gonna be fascinating to watch the power struggle, the power balance between all of these folks. But we're also acting like everyone's gonna get through Senate confirmation, and we'll have to see which ones do and which ones don't. Some of these folks are clearly more qualified. Mike Waltz, Marco Rubio, clearly more qualified for these positions than the other folks. But again, Donald Trump told everybody what he wanted to do. This is not a secret. And so the fact that this is now playing out in real time, elections have consequences.
Congressman Jared Moskowitz, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We have much more on our breaking news ahead. Congressman Matt Gaetz chosen by President-elect Trump to serve as his attorney general. Stay with us.
I'm a little confused as to this is what I was also trying to bring up in terms of like resistance media is not going to be the same as it was before. Okay. I don't think resistance media is going to do resistance media like they did in 2016. This is the other aspect of this. Not only do I feel like they are gearing up for a ratings bump, which will come, but not in the degree that they think it will, right? Due to how the media landscape operates now. There's way too many independent voices out there. There's way too much diversity of information out there for them to, dominate the space. But beyond that, I think resistance libs are gearing up their primary base, like the news watchers, okay, into submission. How likely do you think it's going to be to pass the Senate? I have no belief whatsoever that these GOP senators are going to do the right thing. Okay, if you feel like these goddamn vultures are ever going to do the right thing and be like, we're striking this down. Okay, I'm telling you right now, you're wrong. Everyone's saying, but the confirmations, remember that recess appointments are a thing. If the Senate plus House is convinced to go on break for 10 plus days, Trump can appoint everyone in one day. He can slam through everyone instantly and they don't need a confirmation hearing. It's so bad. Yes. And who's going to stop them? The Supreme Court? What do you think? You think the Supreme Court is going to stop it? Yeah. If you're thinking that these monstrous pieces of are going to be your salvation, you're wrong. Okay. And it feels like even the Democrats are not there to fight against this. And it feels like the media is not there to even talk about how devastating this is. Oh my God. Scoop, Schumer eyeing omnibus, possibly minibus government funding package for the end of the year. Senate Dems focused on wrapping fiscal year 2025 by December per sources. Will set up a clash between Schumer and Johnson. Is Schumer still slapping on that anti-Semitism bill onto this or no? I wonder what America's going to look like in 4 years. Canadian neighbor here. Dude, in the last week, I have heard so many unhinged things. Okay. In the last week, I've heard so many unhinged things from the Republican side. Okay. Like gearing up to possibly bomb Mexico, fighting the cartels, like just incredible escalations. The entire cabinet is chock full of the most rabid war hawks, which was of course expected, as I told you over and over and over again. They are going to pick apart what remains of the carcass of the American government and turn it into the anarcho-capitalist dystopia that they always wanted it to be. Fascism is upon us.